welcome to Multi-Step Equations, Part 1. So after this, it will be Part 2. This is just a basic introduction to what multi-step equations look like. Basically, it's exactly how it sounds. We've been doing one-step equations. Now we're going to add on two-step equations and possibly more steps. So let's take a look at this example. This one we actually have to set up, but it helps us recognize what a multi-step equation is. So it says you're taking a cab to the grocery store. There's a flat fee of $2 upon entrance of the cab. From there, you are charged 50 cents per mile. If your total fare is $20, how many miles did you drive? Okay, so we can, like I said, we can set this up. There are some pieces we need here. The flat fee of $2. So no matter what, once you get in that cab, there's a $2 fee. All right, so you're going to pay $2 no matter what. And then 50 cents per mile from there, and then we're going to solve for miles if we paid $20. Alright, so let's set this up. We know that we paid $20, and we know that this equals $2 plus 50 cents per mile. And so let's write that as 0.5 or 0.5 times m. So this is a multi-step equation here. We're going to solve for m. So the first thing that I like to do is recognize where my term is. My variable term is the 0.5 m, and we're going to solve for that. So what I like to do, just like I do with my one-step equations, is I draw my line, because whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. And I like to look at, okay, what's happening to my variable term? Well, I'm adding 2 to that variable term, so I'm going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. 2 minus 2 cancels out. Alright, so over on the right side, we're left with 0.5 m, and 20 minus 2, 18. So now we have to solve. 0.5 times m equals 18. Well, since we're multiplying by 0.5, or my variable is being multiplied by 0.5, we'll do the opposite, divide by 0.5. This is essentially asking us how many halves go into 18. Well, there are 36. So 0.5 divided by 0.5 is 1m, or just m. So, oops, that's not dollars. The amount of miles we drove would have been 36. There we go. So 36 miles there. That is a two-step equation. And I'll show you one more of those. Sometimes we'll just be given an equation and we'll be asked to solve for it. Again, the thing with this is we want to be careful about the signs. Alright, so if we want to solve this equation, we have to look at and find our variable. My variable term is 2x, but we have to know that that's a negative 2x, or there's a minus sign attached to it. So we have to also look at, okay, well, what's that? What's the 6 doing? It's a positive 6, so it's really saying negative 2x plus 6. So the way that we get rid of that is we're going to subtract 6 on both sides. So remember, you can rearrange the order in which you add something, but those signs have to stay with those terms. 6 minus 6 cancels. We're left with negative 2x, and 10 minus 6 gives me 4. And now we just have one last thing to solve here. We are multiplying x by negative 2, so negative 2 divided by negative 2 cancels. That just gives me 1, and 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. So x should equal negative 2, and we can always go back and check to see if we got that right. So let's plug in negative 2 for x. So 6 minus 2 times negative 2, and however you do this, you can think of this as 6 plus negative 2 times negative 2, or the other way around, 6 minus negative 4. Either way, works out. Like I said, the other way you can think about it is 6 minus, and then do this product, 2 times -2, and we still get 10. So it does check out. So the correct answer is x equals -2. So that's how we do a two-step equation. And on part 2, I'm going to show you 3 examples of a couple more complex problems that we're going to run into. So check out multi-step equations part 2 next.